tension, and you're just excited, tense. It could be anything. Oh, fuck, it's 25 days before the election. And I got to say, it's not looking that great for the Democrats. I mean, this is not a good sign. You know, when you have an African-American candidate, you probably shouldn't be having to shore up your support among black men, but that's what's going on. Tim Walz is headlining a voter engagement event tonight with black men. Who better to connect with young black men than Tim Walz? Because apparently Michael Bublé was unavailable. Meanwhile, Kim Kardashian's like, hello. But no, Obama even came out yesterday to scold. I mean, he was scolding. Well, I don't know. The last month at the convention, he was no scolding. Now he's scolding. He was saying, you got to vote for Harris. But of course, for some young, especially the younger black men, it's a tough choice. Harris is African American, but Trump has a sneaker line. So,
what's going on, beautiful people? What's going on, family? I hope everybody is blessed, well, healthy, and that nothing but the best is going on in all you beautiful people's life, man. You know, you just can't make this up, and it's not looking good for that campaign. It's over with, you know. And now they've gone full desperate racist mode. You know, identity politics. I've look. We've never seen anything like this, y'all. It then got so bad. She done lost, you know, most of the black vote and with black men since Obama ran. They done bought out free money and weed, and it is a terrible, a banana plan, man. I know y'all seen it. It is an absolute disgrace, man. And a lot of people feel what's coming. Even Bill Maher feels what's coming. No matter how much they try to lie and switch it up and just try to give it as much hope and praise as they can. Oh, I think she might win. I think people had enough of Trump. You know, people want Trump back more than ever right now, especially in this critical time that we are living in, man. You know, we are in some disgraceful, dark, sick, woke times. And look what has happened. Being woke. Look at all the failure, the failed policy, the lies, the brainwashing that is taking place. You know, and look how everything backfired and hit the fan. You just can't make this up. And people are upset in the comments about this one, about every time anybody mentions Kamala Harris being African American, a black woman. Again, I don't care what she is, y'all. I keep telling y'all this. One love to the human race. And it has nothing to do with a woman running the country. Is the woman qualified? You know? And all we seen is DEI. Didn't earn it. Not qualified. Can't put a sentence together. Word salad. I don't care about the middle class story. I don't care about you as a prosecutor. Can you answer the question? Why is it the same word salad? The same, and just incompetent. You know, worse than Joe. Like the saying say, the hoe is worse than Joe. The hoe is worse than Joe. Biden 2.0. And then what makes it even worse, what even sunk her campaign even worse, she came out and said it, and not just on one platform, but multiple platforms, multiple interviews, that she is Joe Biden 2.0. And then Joe walk out there swaying in his shoes. He's swaying in his shoes, I don't know where he's at, and says, yeah, you guys are right. We were singing off the same song sheet. She played a major role of what we got done. He just goes out there and confirms everything. And what that gives Trump? Another advertisement. They've been making the best advertisement for Trump this whole campaign. It's over. Then y'all send Barack Obama out there and he completely just blows it. You know, he out there belittling people. They think and thinks that we're stupid and wants us to blindly vote. Brothers, black men, especially with the brothers. She grew up just like you. Boy, I tell you, man, we've never seen anything like this. This is a show. And we got one thing to tell you, Obama, Barry. You want your 4th, 5th term? Fuck you. You. Obama. Fuck you, boy. You're part of the problem, and ever since I'm telling you, ever since they all got to, hey, they're the reason where we're at now. Let's be honest. And I tell them, hands behind their back. Talking about he's gonna step aside. Now y'all kicked him to the curb because y'all lost. I'm gonna do the right thing and step aside. No, he went out there on that debate stage and blew the motor and the transmission. And we seen you walking there with Nancy Pelosi with them box wines. And Hillary with that big old bottle of hot sauce. She's still talking about 2016 with that big old bottle of hot sauce. But when Trump say something about 2020, we know what happened unless you got hit upside the head with a rock. Yeah, but anyways, let's get into it, y'all. Let me stop all this yapping and japping. I'm pissed off. They talking about Kamala Harris, African American. Yeah. Then OkayRickk must be Caucasian. I must be Latino and Caucasian mixed. I must be Filipino as well. Yeah. I don't want to hear all that, man. And again, I don't care what she is, man. But it's sad that we have to get down to identity politics and joy. You know, because everybody can see that she's incompetent. But again, people hate Trump. So some people hate Trump so much they show Trump deranged stage 4. They will vote for a dead buzzard in the middle of the street before they vote for Trump. So, you know, the media's gotten to them, the fake news, the bias reporting, the lies, the misinformation. But their misinformation is something they don't agree with. But we've been calling out, everybody's been calling out the exact same truth. Even the lifelong Democrats. They're sick of the lies and brainwashing. Even the lifelong Democrats are waking up. The liberals are now on the Trump train. I wonder why. And I believe it's going to be too big to rig, man. So y'all go out and vote. Do gotta do our part. Go out and vote. But I want to check out this video from Liberal Hive Mind with Bill Maher. And oh boy, this is going to be a good one, man. So make sure y'all hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here. We keep it real. We do not sugarcoat it, y'all. And we are sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Maher. I think he's arrogant, close-minded, elitist, out of touch. I think he's emotional, and his personal hatred and vendetta for Trump make him simply an unreliable analyst and voice in the current political space. But you know what? At least he hasn't gone completely overboard, and to be frank, there's not too many people like that who currently remain on the left-wing side. Sounds crazy, but Bill Maher is a beacon of rationality and occasional
But he and many others have, y'all gotta admit, he and many others have shined a light on Trump. On really helping Trump this election. I'm not gonna lie to you. Charlemagne the guy, all these people that say they're team hairs have all come out and basically in video after viral clip exposing why you shouldn't go out and vote for Kamala Harris, that you actually should cast your vote for Trump. They got these viral clips every single week, every single month. I tell you, these last 6 months, man, has been eye-opening for a lot of people that has been on social media and on the internet with these clips that are surfacing around. Everybody sees it, man. Everybody feels it.
Common sense in the world of the left, and so I gotta at least give him that, you know? And here we go again. Bill Maher continues to be the deliverer of bad news, inserting a little bit of reality into the delusional world of the left, and boy oh boy, his latest segment was an absolute blow to the copium blueanon leftist sphere. They all want to deny reality, the reality that Kamala Harris is plummeting in real time as we see her, but I guess Bill Maher ain't denying-ish, if you know what I mean. Let me show you guys some of these moments from his latest show. Then, of course, let's build on it. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks. So like I said, I mean, you exist on social media. You hear all of these leftists continuing to gloat of how great Kamala Harris is doing. And then, of course, there's reality.
It's 25 days before the election, and I got to say, it's not looking that great for the Democrats. I mean, This is not a good sign. You know, when you have an African-American candidate, you probably shouldn't be having to shore up your support among black men, but that's what's going on. Tim Walz is headlining a voter engagement event tonight with black men. Who better to connect with young black men than Tim Walz? Because apparently Michael Bublé was unavailable. Meanwhile, Kim Kardashian's like, hello. But no, Obama even came out yesterday to scold. I mean, he was scolding. Well, I don't know. At the last month of the convention, he was no scolding. Now he's scolding. He was saying, you got to vote for Harris. But of course, for some young, especially the younger black men, it's a tough choice. Harris is African American, but Trump has a sneaker line. So I was mentioning in the monologue, there's some sobering statistics for the Democrats this week about the election, which is only a little over 3 weeks away. I'm taking this from Andrew Sullivan's column. He says at this point in 2020, Biden, with far fewer resources than Harris has, was 10 points ahead of Trump. And in 2016, Hillary was 6 up. And she is only 2.6 up. Pennsylvania, Biden was up 7 at this point. She's up 1. Michigan, Biden was up 8 and she's tied. Now, we're all in our bubbles, okay? And that's one reason I'm glad you're here, because a lot of people are saying, I don't care about any of this. How could anyone think about voting for Trump? And that's why you're here, Buck, to answer that question. And we're going to get to that. But it does not seem like she is closing the deal. This week she did a media blitz she went to Howard Stern and Stephen Colbert and The View, places where, you know, I would say the ass is pre-kissed.
Bro, I'm telling y'all, man. And people are seeing these, millions and millions of people are seeing this, and everybody knows. Everybody knows, man. You know, even though we know what type of time Bill Maher is on, he has proven, he has admitted reality time and time and time after again. And this is why you see some people saying, man, I really honestly think that Bill Maher is actually voting for Trump. Behind closed doors, he's actually voting and advocating for Trump. I'm just saying. This is why you see this all the time. And he calls out her campaign time and time after again. But it's not just him. It's even other team hairs folks calling her out for her crap. And now they just look completely desperate now. It's been desperate, but it's desperate at levels we've never seen before. Especially to get the black vote. Because she's seen more blacks are rooting for Trump. And I hate that it's identity politics. I hate that we have to pull the race card, y'all. I really do. You know, it's one love to the human race. I love all you guys. I don't care what your skin color is. I don't care what your age is, man. I want everybody to live an amazing life in this short time travel that we live in. Everybody. For your kids, your family, your friends, and neighbors, the strangers around the world.
Am I wrong?
No.
Did that help or hurt?
No, I think Kamala Harris just had the worst week of her campaign so far, and it's been trending downward for quite some time now. Donald Trump, at this point, I think is very likely to almost certain to win the election, and I appreciate the opportunity to tell people why. I'll remember that, by the way, why that is. And I think there are two things that are weighing her down. First of all, what led up to her campaign. And I'll give a quick, I know it's 4 years, but I'll give a quick version of it. Kamala Harris has to explain, while she's a part of the Biden administration, second in command, you had some of the worst statistics you could possibly imagine as a politician. Worst inflation in 40 years while Biden is president. First time you have over 100,000 opioid deaths while Biden is president. Probably the worst open border in the history of the country, 8 million at least, and that's not including the 500,000 a year that are gotaways. So roughly 10 million people, you could call it, in 4 years entering illegally, almost all of whom are going to stay. Now, she doesn't want to throw Biden under the bus for this, and she didn't want to tell everybody that he's a dementia patient, so she decided that she was going to go along. It's just the facts, everybody. You get mad at me. She decided that she was going to go along with this until it was no longer possible because of the debate. And that's what she inherited. I haven't even gotten to her campaign yet, but I can.
Well, and there you have it. You know, it always starts off the same, right? We're doing our analysis, and I try to be as fair as possible. I tend to give Donald Trump a little bit more benefit of the doubt in terms of my polling analysis, but I do that not because I'm partisan, not because I'm delusional, but more so because the polls have been wrong and generally are wrong. Of course, 2020 was a little bit of an exception, so it's harder to do that now. But you get what I mean. I try to analyze the numbers as effectively as possible and as honestly as possible. And so usually, you know, we tend to be on trends pretty quickly. Trends that the left, of course, denies and claims are MAGA chud copium, or they go as far to say conspiracy theories. That's when you know they're really losing. And then, of course, reality tends to kick in probably within a month to 2 month delay. And then all of a sudden, they start sounding the alarm bells and saying all the things that we've been saying. We go from conspiracy theorists to, I guess, trendsetters, right? And here we go again. Same exact thing. Bill Maher's pointing out what we've been saying. Everyone wants to sing Kamala's praise, how great she's doing in the national polling, but on the average, she's been up by, 2 points? Nationally? That's not a path towards victory. That's a path towards disaster. And I've been saying that since day one, even during the initial media blitz where everybody was panicking. It's time to get real serious. Kamala Harris is a serious threat. Remember all those people freaking out on Twitter? I kept calling them out. Remember all the Ron DeSantis people coming out of the woodworks? I told you Trump was unelectable. I mean, there was some serious panic going on, but I kept saying she's up 2 points nationally. And in the Rasmussen polls and Trafalgar polls, we're still seeing the exact same results. What's the panic? Joe Biden, same time during the 2020 election, was up 9 points, 7 points. I mean, she started to crater towards the end. I think she was up like 3.8 or roughly 4 points in the average right ahead of election day, but still better than Kamala. And if you looked at the swing state polling data, you know, back then, if you were doing analysis, you would probably think, man, there's no way Trump can win this. He's behind big time everywhere. But now this is the outlook. I mean, look at the RCP average just for top battleground states. Trump has now taken the lead in the average in every single state except for Wisconsin. And to be honest, Wisconsin looks like it's trending towards Trump. And again, it's a state where Trump is expected to do better than the polling averages are indicating. Look at October 12th, 2020. Biden was up 6.3 in the average. We can go ahead and take a look simply just by clicking the button and look at this. Biden was up by 11, 10, 8, 8. Huge, astronomical leads. And in the end, what ended up happening, even with all the Democrat electioneering, let's call it, I think Joe Biden took the state of Wisconsin by 13,000 votes, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that. A little more than 13,000. 13,000 might have been Georgia. Just a little bit over 20,000 votes. A 0.6% margin. So the polls on average showed Biden winning by nearly 7 points, but the actual result was 0.7. There was a 6% Biden-favored error in the aggregate data. I mean, what does that tell you? That tells you that now with Kamala Harris leading in the average by 0.3 and likely even less as we get closer to election day, if the polls are wrong like they were back in 2020, Trump could take the state by over 6 points, theoretically. And this is the outlook that Democrats are celebrating. You people out of your damn minds, you're delusional. You're so delusional that Bill Maher looks like the rational one. It's actually insane. Bill Maher is the common sense guy. Not because he is, he's an emotional wreck, but because you know, the rest of you leftoids have freaking lost the plot. And the copium this year is just incredible. I mean, I really don't think they realize how bad the outlook is for them. I'm not saying this election's over, Trump's gonna win, but it's just not looking good. And it's crazy to me that the left is looking at all this polling data and thinking, oh, we're on track for victory. I don't know, I don't think so. And speaking of this incredible copium, I think the craziest copium of all is coming from all the early ballot data. We're getting some early mail-in ballot data coming out of a lot of states here, which Democrats are obviously overperforming in. And so you got all these leftist analysts all over X tweeting stuff like, oh, we're doing so well in early voting. But again, they're not drawing back to historical data. Sure, Democrats are ahead, but Democrats are far behind where they were in 2020, where the election, the electoral college, was only won by 40,000 votes. I keep seeing tweets like this. Data from TargetSmart suggests that Democrats are running away with early voting. This is consistent with data showing robust turnout in overwhelmingly Democratic Detroit and Philadelphia. Oh, we're running away with the early vote. But that isn't the case at all. Michael Pruzer's been doing some incredible work, and pretty much across the board, we're seeing Republicans actually overperform in early mail-in voting. North Carolina early voting update. Regular voter registration is now closed in North Carolina, and this was the net change over the last 7 days. Republicans plus 11,300, Democrats plus 5,400, others plus 14,700. And on the return side, we're still on track to finish with about a Democrat plus 8 return edge over Republicans. Plus 8. You don't need a degree in statistics or you don't need to be a big brain political analyst to realize that a plus 8 early voting advantage for Democrats is abysmal, considering what we saw in 2020. And we're seeing the same thing in Pennsylvania. He says, I've been tracking PA absentee requests and returns since the primary in 2020. And today was the first time in just over 4 years that Republicans outrequested Democrats in mail absentee for the previous day. He breaks down the total requests here as he's been tracking from mid-September, and look at the breakdown, 61% Democrat and 27% Republican. That's significantly down from the 2020 results, where Democrat requests were at 73% and Republican at 19%. And back during the 2022 midterms, where Democrats were at 69% and Republicans at 21%. Democrats are claiming these numbers are good for them, but obviously that isn't the case at all. Democrats are lagging behind where they were in highly contentious, extremely close elections. And just to make matters worse on top of that, mail-in ballot requests across the board are down, meaning the early mail-in ballot vote is going to be less significant this time, theoretically, than it was then. And so you got Democrats underperforming in early voting, then you got Republicans who are going to flood the polls on election day. I don't know. Doesn't exactly seem like a recipe for success now, does it? That's the reality, and it's becoming undeniable. And now you got leftist talking heads like Bill Maher essentially sounding the alarm. Anyways,
Yeah. Woo! I believe it's going to be too big to rig, man. Too big to rig. And we're going to thank this fella here and many others, you know, for sounding the alarm and exposing the reality of this stuff, man. It's corrupt. She's incompetent. She needs to be nowhere near the White House, an office. Nowhere near. You know, we don't stand in 4 years of that, I'm telling you. Can't go off script, word salad repeats the same thing. You know, it's just crap. It is crap, man. And now all this other stuff that they're pulling, it's just an absolute disgrace. The Democrats should be ashamed. They should be ashamed of themselves, man. Shame of themselves. And you understand, and Tampon Timmy, you understand why Tampon Timmy didn't answer the phone when he was called to be VP. You know, he had to sit there and say, and then he answered the phone like, what, an hour, 2-3 hours later. Sorry, I missed your call. You know, yeah. This is going to probably be one of the worst Democrat performances we will ever see. One of the worst tickets we will ever see in our lifetime, man. This Harris Walls ticket. You know, I get that people hate Trump, but man. I couldn't do it, man. You know, it has nothing to, and this is one reason why Obama got a lot of hate and a lot of spitback from everybody. Because it has nothing to do with skin color. It has nothing to do with her being a woman. It has nothing to do. And you want us to blindly go out there and vote for this lady. Talking about she grew up like us. Have you lost your mind, sir? Oh, I pray that they are landslided out everywhere. Landslided out, man. Prayers for Trump, because we don't know what to expect, man. And they know it's, and right now you see, if you look at the reporting right now, they are panicking and shaking out their shoes right now. No matter how you put it. You know? And Trump is staying disciplined. He is staying consistent at the end of this campaign. We're going to end it off big. Prayers for Trump, man. Because again, we've already seen 2 attempts. We've seen some crazy stuff happen this election, this campaign. And we don't know what to expect next, man. Prayers for Trump, his family, his team, his campaign. Prayers for you guys and your family. I love y'all. One love to the human race. And I will catch you beautiful people in the next one, man. Peace and love, y'all.